What's good, my peeps? I told you guys I was going to do my top 5 greatest players of all time, and now the time has come. Listen, this list consists of basically longevity, pure ability, what they've done collectively and what they've done individually as well for their teams, club and country. So I'm taking all that into account to make this list. So at number 5, look, I'm going with Pele. Again, I can understand why the much older generation will say he is the GOAT. 3 different World Cups. The youngest player to win a World Cup, the youngest player to score a World Cup, and what he achieved with Santos as well. What he did, even when he went to America, average almost a goal a game in his whole career. You understand? It's hard to go against that, especially when you hear 3 different World Cups. But for me, again, this is like so long ago, and I only watched videos of Pele, so it's hard to make a judgment based on that. But from what he's achieved and what he's done in football, and the fact that people were calling him the king and the GOAT during this time, he's number 5 for me, purely because, like I said, I just didn't see enough of him to make a judgment. Number 4 for me, Diego Armando Maradona. He's another guy. Again, he played just before my time, but at least he played closer to my time. So I could see people were calling him the greatest player I've ever seen. And we saw what he's done. 1986 World Cup. They use that as basically the pinpoint of a World Cup. When you talk about a player actually carrying his nation to a World Cup, Diego Armando Maradona's performance in '86 is always referred to. And what he's done in his career is unbelievable, in the sense of when he went to Europe, for example, Barcelona, he did all right in his first season there. Things went left. And then when he went to Napoli, what he did there is unthinkable. To help his side that wasn't even challenging for titles, to help them win 2 league titles and a cup is unbelievable. And again, the generation just before me call him the GOAT. So out of respect, I have to have him in my top 5. I can understand the argument for why he is the greatest, and using what he did at the World Cup as a reason for that, and what he did for Napoli. But unfortunately, again, it's just before my time. So I'm going to be more biased to guys who've played more around my time. But in terms of ability and what I've seen on YouTube, he's one of the greatest things I've seen when it comes to kicking a ball. But let's go to number 3. Number 3 for me has to be R9. Again, listen, before the Messis and Ronaldos, R9 for me was the greatest player I've ever seen. You understand? Possibly the greatest teenager ever. This guy, 2 Ballon d'Ors, what he did, when he went to Europe, like at PSV in his 2 seasons there, I think, 54 goals in 57 appearances, that young. And then what he did at Barcelona, possibly the greatest debut season at a club, scoring I think it was like 47 goals in 49 appearances. Unbelievable. And what he did at Inter Milan, it's just unthinkable as well. And then to be out of football for almost 2.5 years for a career-ending injury, coming back and taking his nation to win the World Cup in 2002, where he was the best player, top goal scorer, scoring 8 in 7 games, is unthinkable. And then goes to Real Madrid, as we know, was a bit overweight due to the injuries and everything else, but still averaging over 30 goals a season for at least the first few seasons at Real Madrid. And he had a fantastic career at Madrid. Could have won more. I know didn't win the Champions League, didn't do so well in that competition. But either way, like, his performance at the World Cup and what he did at early stage of his career is just unthinkable. Like I said, he had the longevity, just not like the other guys, because he was world class until he was 30. So, and you're talking about a guy that played professional football from the age of 16 till he was 30. So there's some sort of longevity there. But yeah, one of the greatest players I've ever seen, man. Again, like I said, I was calling him the GOAT before we talk about the other guys. Number 2, Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, listen, when you talk about on that list, he might be the least talented out of the 5 that I'm going to name. But when you talk about consistency, longevity, mentality, Cristiano Ronaldo is that. And for me as well, the fact that he even rivaled the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, for literally over 13, 14, 15 years is a madness. A guy was averaging over 50 goals a season at times. The guy's got 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, all of that. With Portugal as well, won the Euros. They hadn't won nothing. I know he hasn't got the World Cup, which is the big one. And he's going to be the only one on this list that hasn't got the World Cup. but the longevity and, like I said, the mentality and what he's done for such a long time, listen, it's crazy. He's the highest goal scorer in football, highest goal scorer at international level as well, highest goal scorer in the Champions League. So all of these things, and then you add the 5 Ballon d'Ors to it, it's crazy. The 4 golden shoes, you know, madness, playing in different leagues and all of these things. So yeah, big up Cristiano Ronaldo. He's number 2 on my list. Number 1, Lionel Andreas Messi, aka the undisputed GOAT. This guy here, like I mentioned, R9 was the first player that I saw like in my lifetime when I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? It's not normal. Lionel Andreas Messi has made me watch football thinking like that for the last 15 years, bro. We're talking about a guy who, the most Ballon d'Ors, you understand? A guy who's won everything there is to win in football. The guy with the 2nd most trophies in history. The guy with the most golden shoes. The guy who was doubted for his country and ended up winning everything. He won the Under-20 World Cup. He won the Olympics. He won the Copa America. And he won the big one, the World Cup, where he dominated age 35. Something I've never seen a player that age dominate a World Cup like that. Literally scoring 7 and 7 and scoring every knockout competition. And like, yeah, what a fantastic goal scorer. Fantastic player. And he will go down possibly as the greatest dribbler, greatest passer, and possibly the greatest goal scorer. Some might say Ronaldo, some might say Messi. Either way, he might end up overtaking Ronaldo of most goals scored because he's only 26 behind Ronaldo of 130 games plus less than him. So it's unbelievable. This little magician from Rosario has done so much. Absolutely. Against all expectations and all the doubts, he managed to deliver the goods, and he will end his career with the most trophies. Like I said, the most Ballon d'Ors, and you know, the rest is history, man.